back to the channel. We're doing a chatty get ready with me today for this look, and I'm going to tell you all about some of my recent trips and the very interesting things that have gone on during them. It was wild, it was a whole time. So please stay tuned, have a chat with me, grab a drink, get cozy. It's probably gonna be a long one, I'd imagine, and we'll have a good time together. So let's go. Hello! Okay. So I thought I'd be able to like listen to music while recording this, but it turns out that I cannot multitask that well, so that's not gonna work. We're just gonna turn these back off again. It's the thing where like I feel like if music was playing in the room, I'd be able to chat and do my makeup, but because it's like but I can't do that because then you guys will be able to hear it and then YouTube can hear it and then copyright. But then if I'm playing it on my AirPods, well, they're not AirPods, they're fake AirPods, whatever they are, then like it's too in my ears and I can't like focus on what I'm saying, so no music right now. That's the one downside to doing these videos, is because like I want to chat with you guys and catch up, but I also like listening to music while I get ready and I can't do both. I'm like, god damn it. I just kind of wanted to play around with makeup today because like an issue, I don't know if I ever talked about this before, but an issue I always have is like I feel like no matter how extreme I try to do my makeup, it always just ends up looking really like boring and normal on me. Like makeup that I would see like, you know, a look on someone else and it looks like super heavy and goth and cool, and I feel like if I like try to recreate that exact look on myself, it just looks really like plain. I don't know what it is, like it's very strange, but I just want to play around and see if I can like come up with a look that is more, I don't know, that gives me the dopamine I'm so clearly seeking basically. I also think I'm gonna switch foundations because today again my foundation has went on really bad, and to be fair my skin isn't great right now, but it's really just a couple of breakouts like around here. The rest of my skin is fine, but still the foundation has went on terribly, and I didn't use the weird new primer this time, so I'm like, but whenever I was in London, I actually forgot to I forgot to pack my foundation. I didn't have it with me, and so I was borrowing someone else's while I was there, and I liked it a lot better, so I might find out what that was and switch over to that brand because this isn't working for me anymore and I'm not happy about it. Do I know what I'm doing? Not really. Are we gonna try anyway? We sure are. Put on the lip plumper so my lips are ready to go. This is the Too Faced Lip Injection Extreme for the people who are always asking. And it is a pretty like tingly one, but the more you use it, the less that really happens. I feel like the first time you use it, it feels like very tingly and burny, but you get used to it pretty quick. Oh, so I am back off to London. What day is it today? It's Sunday? Sunday today. Oh, I need to get a shower after this. It's Sunday today and I'm back off to London on Wednesday. I usually fly out on a Thursday, but for some reason, like, Thursday was the one day where flights were, like, over £100 more expensive than usual, and I'm like, think the fuck not. So I'm going on Wednesday, and I will be there for 2 weekends. So before I go, I'm just trying to get some work done. I feel like these, like, NYX Jumbo white pencils were, like, a staple at one point in, like, I'd say, like, the mid-2000s. Like late noughties, I don't know, sometime around then I feel like these were like something everyone used. Do you remember like the fucking really intense brow bone highlight? But yes, very excited to be going back to London again. It is just mad though because I'm like, I'm back and forth so often now. I basically live like half there and half here, which is great, but it's also like tiring. When I'm there I don't have access to like all my belongings, so it makes like aspects of life harder. So I need to really focus on how I can still get shit done properly while I'm over there, I think. I did pretty well in October, because in October I was there for like a month and I managed to get a decent amount done, but still not as much as I would like, so that's something to work towards. But yeah, the big like massive London October trip was really good for the most part. It was stressful because like being honest, I was not in a good place mentally whenever it came time to like leave for that trip. It was really not an ideal time for me to be like leaving home for a month, but everything was already organized, so I'm very much the show must go on kind of person. When I was actually leaving for that, I was not doing super well, so pretty much immediately upon getting there I was already filled with anxiety. But I think I got there on like the 13th of October or something, and I'd wanted to go to Repost, one of those, but I couldn't find anyone to go with, and then I actually ended up getting invited to go to the box, and I was like, sure, let's just do that. I think that was the first time I went to the box as well, and it was really fun, but like, I don't get like drunk often. Like if I'm out or whatever, I'll have some drinks, but generally the most I get is like a fun level of tipsy. Just a, like, you know, just like a silly goofy mood of mine. I don't often set out with like the intention of like, I'm gonna get white girl wasted, but for some reason that night, like that was the most drunk I had been in a long fucking time. Like I don't know what the fuck happened there, but I was, first night in London, very much white girl wasted. So that was like a whole adventure. So I mentioned this in a stream, I don't think I've mentioned it in a video. So for a long time whenever I was going to London, I was actually staying in a squat, which like every time I say that people are like, I know, but like it was actually great. It was really fun. I loved the squat. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure it's been evicted now and I am devastated. I am really sad because I fucking loved that place. It was my favorite place to stay in London. It was really great and like the people there were lovely. Even like I didn't really like there's a lot of them I never really spoke to a lot, but anytime I did it was just like a nice experience. And I'm really sad that I'm like realistically not going to see most of those people ever again, probably, because like I don't think any of them are really like in the alternative scene. Like it was like a mixture of it, but yeah, so like it makes me sad that I'm not going to see them again. But anyway, so I was staying at the squat and I came back from the box like so fucking drunk. We're like getting in and like because like someone always had to let you in, and so the guys let me in and I was like walking through the living. It's like 4 o'clock in the morning, but like people there had like quite like all over the place sleep schedules, so there's usually always someone awake. So I'm walking through the living room, there's a couple of them there, and I'm like night night, I like crash into a chair and I'm like sorry, like just gently, but I like bump into a chair and I'm like night night, and I like go into the bedroom, close the door, and then turn around and tripped over something else. So they just watch me like tootle in, bump into something, tootle on through again, and then close the door. They just heard like a crash. So not my finest moment, but quite funny. But that was all a funny good time. And then the next night was Darkroom, which like, it's unfortunate because like I've been doing this for ages. I should probably like move on to something else. But yeah, like in theory it was like such a good night because like so many lovely people were there. It like had the potential to be all the fun, but there was like also like some bullshit going on that just had me like hideously fucking like stressed out to the point where I like couldn't fucking eat. I was like being sick even though I because I actually didn't drink at all that night. But I was just like so fucking like highly tense that I just really struggled. I still ended up having a fairly good time, all things considered, because I had like some of my friends there, including like Chris, who lives in the Netherlands, and I never get to see them, and they were there and I was like yay, and I met some like new friends. So like there were a bunch of good things, but I was just like not in a good headspace that night, which is a real shame. But yeah, so did Darkroom, and then I think the next day definitely went for, well, tried to go for food with Chris and Kuro, but I was still like, so I actually like couldn't eat for a couple of days. And I think that night, I don't know if it was that night or the next night, me and Kuro ended up going to like the last Tuesday Society and Garlic and Shots, but that was all fun. And then I'm very like, I did so many things in October that I can't actually like really recall the timeline. I'll have to like look through my phone and figure out exactly what was when. Oh my god, that's right, fucking whenever I was in the box, like it's really, really dark and it's like quite like, I don't know if the carpets are just really thick, but like, I don't know, like walking on the carpets in big shoes is a bit like, oh. So like, we were on our way to the bathroom. Bear in mind, I'd never been to the bathroom before, and I was walking along, I was like looking at everything, so there's a lot to see, because there's performances and stuff that happen in the box. But I was going with my friend to the bathroom, and in the very darkness, I did not see the squishy carpeted stairs that led down in the darkness to the bathroom, and I ate shit. I could feel myself falling. And you know when you try to stop yourself from falling, but then it becomes clear there's no stopping it and you just have to let it happen? I fell down those stairs so fucking hard. I can't even blame like being drunk on that. That was just purely like me not seeing what was right in front of me. Fell so hard and ended up with the most giant bruise like just below my ass. Like it was unreasonable. But yeah, so I had that for like my entire trip. And then like my lower leg and everything was also like very, very bruised. Oh, and like the bruise also came out in like a massive lump from my leg as well, and I was like, oh, that's right. And I think it was like that Thursday or something, I ended up having a day out with my friends Sid and Jean-Louis, and we went to the Hunterian Museum, which I had been to before, but I was like perfectly happy to go again because it was very interesting. A lot of like anatomy stuff and like wet specimens, bones, all of that, so that was very fun. And then we went to like a few other sort of like little exhibity things, and I think we maybe went to Camden briefly after that as well. Oh, and then I went to the box that night as well, I guess. Was that the same day? Yeah, it seems to be. Yeah, so I ended up going to the box again that night, and that night I ended up not drinking very much because I actually just really wanted to enjoy the shows and stuff, and oh my god. Like, so if you don't know what the box is, it's a like club. There's one in London, and I think the original is in New York. And they're known for being like quite like exclusive and stuff, like, you know, supposedly a lot of celebrities and stuff go there, and generally like if you're paying to like reserve a table, it's like very, very pricey. There are absolutely no photos or videos allowed, like you're not allowed like cameras out at all. and they're known for their like stage shows, which kind of like vary. So like you have the more sort of like quote unquote normal stuff, like, you know, things akin to like strip shows and like fire dancers and pole dancers and like, you know, aerial performances and stuff. All very good. You have like usually some singers who are like always fucking incredible. But then you also have like the stranger stuff. So I think some of my favorite performances I've seen there, like just in terms of pure shock value, have been by a performer called Rosewood, who I think is actually usually in the New York branch, but I've gotten lucky and I'm pretty sure every single time I've been to the box, she's been in London. And her shows are something else. Don't consider myself to be easily shocked, but my jaw was on the ground a couple of times. I think the first performance I saw her in that night, like that was the Thursday, like 19th or whatever. So the curtains open, immediately vomits on the floor, presumably pretends to light up a crowd, and then strips completely naked, grabbed a big ol'... Actually, do you know, I don't know even how much of this I can tell on YouTube because I'm afraid of getting demonetized, because my last video got demonetized, so I'm like, I didn't talk about anything in that particularly bad. Like, it was like, what? Like me having a toothache? Is that the issue? Things were going in orifices, and I was in the front row able to make direct eye contact with said orifices, and there was presumably fake blood going absolutely everywhere. Ran into like, and the thing is, like, the box is like a weird mix of people, because you do have the people who are paying a lot to be there, who are usually like a little more like sort of fancy and like, you know, whatever. And I ran into a girl in the bathroom after who like looked like she was in tears because she'd gotten like ass blood on her nice white shirt. It was all a lot, and then there was even more shows, but like I said, I've actually kind of rethought telling the exact stories because I don't want to get in trouble in here, and they are quite something, but it's a very good time. I've been a few times now and I would 100% go again because I fucking love it there. It's just absolute madness. I'm so tired of like all the internet censorship. You can't say anything. It's like all these people on like TikTok with their like, oh, he unalived himself, and like, oh, you're being like, whenever you're watching corn, and oh, I'm like, can we just speak please without being punished? But yeah, so that was the Thursday. Did I do something that Friday? I did. I went to a Halloween party. So my friend Harmony invited me to a Halloween party. That was like a house party, but it was in like a photography studio. It was really fun, except whenever I got there, the entrance was down like a sort of dodgy feeling street, and there were like a group of guys just like sitting and drinking on the street who were like nothing to do with the party, just like a group of like men. And like no one could hear me banging the door, and my friend wasn't getting my texts. I was just outside with these men yelling at me, and I was like, ah! Like I came this close to leaving because I was fully panicking at this point. I think it took me like 25 minutes to get in, so that wasn't great. But once I was in, it was very fun. So yeah, we just like had fun at the party, and I think it ended like pretty early, so then we ended up going into London and going to the Black Heart for a little bit. And I think that was pretty much it for that night. We played like some drinking games and stuff, and table tennis that then devolved into like balloon table tennis. That was all very good. And then there was presumably something on the Saturday, because I was like multiple days a week, like every little picture of me and Harmony, how cute. So then the Saturday was the first Halloween slime light, which I really enjoyed. I had a great time with that. This was my look for that. It's really funny because like, as I say, like most of the people living in the squat, like no one's like goth or anything. You had like, you know, some people who like lean more towards punk and stuff. No one's like me. Pretty much every night I was there, like the guys in the living room would see me like tootle into the bedroom looking like a goblin in my pajamas, and then come out 2 hours later like in some sort of club outfit, just be like, huh? And whenever I came out wearing this outfit and I was on my way to the bathroom to like check, because there was no like proper mirror in the room I was staying in, I was going to the bathroom to check, I ran into one of the guys and he was like, and I was like, hello, and he was like, every time you come out of that room you get more interesting looking, and I was like, I will take that as a compliment, thank you. But it was good fun, everyone there was fun. I think that same guy ended up scaring the crap out of me one night because there was like a mix-up with rooms, and so I'd went up to like the one that I was meant to be staying in, but then he'd ended up staying there, so it was like a confusion. But like, I opened the door and I was like, oh shit, I think someone's in there. I was like, oh sorry, and I closed it and I was like, wait, was someone in there, or did I just imagine that because it's like pitch black? So I opened the door again and I'm like, hello? And there's no answer, and I'm like, oh okay, I must have imagined it. So I would like reached and turned on the light, but like as the light was turned on, it turns out he was in there and he'd been like waiting in the dark, and as I turned on the light he was like, boo! And like my soul left my fucking body. I can't remember what night that was, but like I nearly had a fucking heart attack. I was like, you dickhead. But it was so funny, and then I was like too tired to figure things out, so I think I just like went and slept on the sofa. And then my friend, like, it was like 7 AM by that point anyway, because I'd just come back from one of the clubs. So then I slept on the sofa for like 2 hours, and by that point my friend who lived there was getting up for work, and he came out and saw me on the sofa and was like, go to bed, and just sent me into his room to sleep, and I was like, okay, see. So I just went in there and slept, so that all worked out well. But yeah, it scared the crap out of me. But yeah, so that was my look for Slimelight, and that was a very fun night indeed. I don't believe I did anything on the Sunday. I think I was sensible enough to take a day to rest on the Sunday, presumably. And then I think it was like either the Tuesday or the Wednesday or something, I went out to like Covent Garden. I went to the Libidex store, which is called Liberation, and then I went for food with my friend Madison, and that was very nice. Oh, and I was in the Evening Standard, which is like a little like sort of like daily newspapery thing in London. I was in that for like part of a Slimelight thing, which is really cool. I completely forgot like they'd phoned me in the morning, I think after one of the club nights. So I was like definitely still asleep, and like I was like, hello? And they're like, oh, this is like the interview for that. I was like, oh god, I was like trying to be professional. I was like, yes, hello, I definitely was not asleep. But yeah, so that was cool. And then I met the photographers at Slimelight, and yeah, so that was really fun. It was cool they did that on Slimelight. The Thursday was a Spotify event. It was the Spotify Misfits Anti-Prom, and I went to that with Kuro, and it was really fun. There was like a bunch of different performances and everything. Saw like loads of familiar faces there, and I also like finally got to meet some people who definitely like ran in the same scenes but had somehow never bumped into each other, to the point where like I was talking to like one person I knew, and they're like, oh, this person will be here, like, you know, like they were telling me like, oh, don't worry, like this person will be here soon. And I was like, oh, me and this person have actually never met. And they're like, huh? And I was like, I was like, yeah, we never actually met or spoke, but like, yeah, that's good. So yeah, like, then like we saw each other, and it was kind of like a kind of moment. So yeah, like got to meet some new people there. So saw some people I hadn't seen in years that I wasn't expecting to see there, and that was really cool as well. So that was all a very good experience. Oh, the next one was a really busy day because I went to something called Necropolis Festival during the day, which was like a gothic day rave in a church, which is really cool. There's a little graveyard outside and stuff. So I had to like get ready for that, and I was like very, very tired, but got ready for that, headed out. It was like pretty far away from where I was staying. It was good, but it was quite quiet while I was there. I think like even though it was a daytime thing, most people weren't really showing up until the evening. But my friends Paris and Freya came, and so like we were just kind of like talking away for most of that. And then unfortunately I had to leave before it really got going because it was already like the evening by that point, and I had to get ready for Monster Queen that night. So I saw some videos afterwards, and I definitely seemed to miss like the most fun part of the night, but it was still cool, and I'd like to go again like whenever there's no like conflicting events. So yeah, and then Monster Queen was that night, and so that was like the Halloween Monster Queen. I did my little outfit for that. That was this look. I made that choker, and I was very pleased with it. I made it like the day before I had to fly to London because like all the stuff didn't arrive until I was like due to go to London, and I was like, shit! But and it didn't fall apart, which I was very surprised by, so go me for that one. So if that was the Friday, then what was the Saturday? The Saturday might have been Torture Garden. Yeah, because there's no pictures on here and there's no pictures. I think the Saturday was Torture Garden, and it was my first ever Torture Garden, and it was pretty fun. I did definitely enjoy it. I was there with friends, and it was nice, but like I was sort of third wheeling a couple. Like they didn't make me feel that way, but like, you know, like essentially that's what it was. It's not like they like disappeared off and like left me to do anything or whatever, but I was there with them, and I was like, I had a good time, but I definitely felt like I either would have had more fun being there like either with a partner myself or with like a big group. But I really enjoyed it, and again I met some like really nice people. People that are really, really friendly. A lot of people really loved my outfit, which made me feel good. That was the night. That was a strange night though, because it was Torture Garden. It was also the night the clocks went back, so it made the time of everything really confusing, and it's also the night that I found out Chandler from Friends died, because that's like, it was that night that he died, and I was like, no fucking way. So just a series of strange events, but I really enjoyed that. But by the time that was over, I was absolutely exhausted. I think I left at like 4 or something and headed back. I would usually stay like until the end of these things. I think like I left at like 4, but technically I left at like 5 because of the time change, you know, but like according to the clock it was 4. But yeah, I was just really tired because it had been like a lot over that, like those couple of days. It must have either been the Sunday or Monday. A few of us had a fun little day out in Camden, and we went to like the place in Camden that has like all the gachapon machines, and I got a bunch of bugs, like really cool big beetly bugs, and I love them. I think I showed them on a stream recently. Was very, very happy about those. And then I think actual Halloween was maybe a Tuesday, and so there was like another mini Slimelight for that, because like it wasn't like a full big one because it was a Tuesday, but it was Halloween, so there's another Slimelight, so I went to that. That was my little outfit for that. I don't even know if it was on that late. I definitely didn't stay super late. I think maybe like 2 or something I might have left at, but can't remember like if it was even on very late because it was a Tuesday. Yeah, that was all good fun. And then the next day it must have been, a few of us went out for sushi, and then we went for drinks in a like the bar of a hotel called the Mandrake, which was very, very, very pretty. Oh my god, that's right. So like, I did one of those things like, you know, like you put up where you do like the anonymous questions, and for the most part people are just like leaving normal things, but like one person sent like a string of just like really fucking like angry messages. Like the first one I saw was like so awful that I genuinely, like I burst out laughing because I was just like, holy shit dude, like that's a lot. Like, it's on the screen now. They're basically saying that it's unfair that I'm not being assaulted, for lack of better word, and like no one's gonna feel bad for me when I'm like, oh, who hurt you? And I was just like, Jesus fucking Christ, that's so bad. But then like they also sent like a bunch of messages like making it clear like they're really angry that I have Patreon. It seems to be the general thing, and like one of the things they were like, oh, it makes me sick that people give you money. But I'm nothing if not a businesswoman, so I saw this as an excellent advertising opportunity. So I posted up this. If you, A, genuinely enjoy the content I produce on here and YouTube and want to show your support, or B, want to make the same slut shamer that thinks it's unfair that I'm not being R-worded sick, you can do that over on Patreon. Sign up now. For as little as $1 per month, you can join our Discord and make this weirdo absolutely foam at the mouth with unbridled rage. And then a bunch of people started joining Patreon and coming into the Discord and being like, hey, I joined out of spite. And it ended up like, such a horrible message sparked such a fucking funny evening because people kept joining. We were just like, the spite army grows. And so like, we just had this whole fucking evening of like spite army. And it was just like so fun. I fucking love my patrons so much. Like they're all so funny and just so nice. So yeah, we'll throw back to that. If you also want to make this random person foam at the mouth with unbridled rage, sign up to Patreon. The link is down in the description. We do not support people who slut shame, which is like hilarious because despite how I may dress, I haven't even been doing any slutting. And I'm using slutting affectionately. Y'all go out and do your slutting, you have fun. As long as no one's cheating or passing on diseases, have fun. But I had been doing none of that, so it's even funnier. But yeah, we don't support slut shamers or people who hope that other people get assaulted. So, but we do support the spite army. We love spite. And then later that week, I think it was maybe the following weekend, I can't figure out when this was, but I went out to the Last Tuesday Society, as I so often do, with Nikki and Moose, and then we went to Helgi's for a couple of drinks, and then my friend Harmony met me there, and then after Nikki and Moose left, Harmony and I went to Inferno, which I'd never been to before, and it was super, super fun, and we had a super good night, and oh, my mum's gonna kill me. I forget my mum watches these things, and I tell you guys things that she ends up yelling at me for. But it was really funny because like me and Harmony were having a really good time at Inferno, and then like my phone died at some point during the night, and I was like, ah, fuck, whatever. And around like 3 AM, Harmony was like, oh, like I'm gonna head home now, like do you want to come or are you staying here? And I was having a really good time, so I was like, I'm fine, I'll stay here, you head on. Woohoo! So I'm bopping away, having a great time, having a little dance. And then like, you know, the night ends at like wherever it is, like no, it must be like 5 AM. Night ends, I go outside and I'm like, ah, time to go home. My phone is dead. And I'm not near a tube. Like if I'm near the tubes, I know where I'm going. I can find my way around. I was not near a tube. I was somewhere out in Hackney Wick where I hadn't been before. Dead phone, and I'm like, oh dear. But I found my way back, which I think is quite impressive. I was resourceful. I don't know, but I found my way back, and I'm pretty pleased with myself. And then I think, yeah, then it would have been the next night I went to Torture Garden again. I think I was meant to be like meeting Paris and stuff there, but then I think she was sick. So, but it was my last weekend in London, so I didn't want to sit in and do nothing. So I was like, ah, screw it, I'll just go. So I actually ended up going to Torture Garden alone, which was fine. Watched like a bit of a performance and stuff, had a drink, bumped into some nice people, and then I headed off to another night called Arise, which was also like nice. But I feel like I was too tired to have fun. Like by that point I was so fucking exhausted. I think I was like sitting down most of the night, honestly, and plus I was there by myself, and like if you don't have someone else's energy to like really bounce off, it's even harder. So I was just kind of like sitting down, chilling, and kind of listening to the music, and I ended up leaving at like maybe 4 or something. I was trying to last the whole night, but I was just too tired. I wasn't there with anyone. So I would definitely go back to that at a time when I'm not like half dead and when I have like someone to join me, but I think everyone had sort of done all of their partying for October, because by that point it was early November, and I think everyone had kind of like done everything in October, and no one was particularly in much of a party mood anymore, except for me. I think Sunday I just chilled, and then Monday I went home, which would have been like, what, the 6th? I think the 6th. I went out 6th of November, I went home. So it was a lot, and that was just the main stuff. So that was pretty like poof. And then let's see, I want like this, but I also feel like I want like a whoosh, which I don't know if it'll look good, but I'm willing to try. That's why we're experimenting, because then I'll know for when I'm actually going out whether it ends up sucking. Very good. But yeah, so that was the big old October trip. And I ended up going back not too long later because in November it was Slimelight's birthday, which is like obviously a big deal. Oh, it just started raining. So I was back over for that, and that ended up being very fun. So I was staying with my friend Ollie this time around, who I actually met at the darkroom in October, which is really cool. So I was staying with them, and my flight got in, I think, quite late on the... Oh, is this even what I wanted at all? It's not. It's not even a little bit. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, how do we fix this? Oh shit. I had such high hopes for this look and it's all just taking a turn. Oh, I hate it. I hate it, but we're too far gone. I just have to roll with it now. No! It should have been... There's no way to undo it. But yeah, I stayed with my friend Ollie, and I was actually flying on the Friday, which I don't usually do. I think I'd wanted to go to Club... Is it Verboten? Club Verboten? I'd wanted to go that night, but I don't think my flight got in until like 10 or something, or like 9:30. And I was like, there's no way I'm getting the whole way from Heathrow into central London, dropping off my bags, getting dressed up enough for a club night, and then out. It's like it wasn't happening, so I couldn't go that night. But it was actually Ollie's friend's birthday, and we ended up going to that, so like I didn't like get dressed or put on makeup or anything. I was very much a little scraggle, but we went and did that. So I arrived in London, and a couple of hours later I was doing the cha-cha slide in a random bar's basement, so that was a pretty good start. And then I'd planned with my friend Harmony again to have drinks on that Sunday with one of her friends, Ashley, who I hadn't met before, so we had like a little group chat for that. And the Saturday was Slimelight, and I'd invited both of them to that. Harmony couldn't make it, but then Ashley did end up going with one of her friends. We hadn't actually met before at this point, like we just talked in this group chat, so I ended up meeting her there, which was really nice. And I bumped into a bunch of my friends I hadn't seen in a while. Well, I said I hadn't seen in a while. I think I saw most people in October, but got to see a bunch of people again, had a really fun night. It was really great. Me and Ashley, I also met a lovely girl called Alice. There was all sorts of like just like random chaos that night, but it ended up being a very good night. Slimelight is always lovely, and like my outfit was very last minute, but I ended up actually really liking my look that night. I did not get nearly as many pictures as I would have liked. I'm gonna get mascara and just start like stabbing. I'm going for like messy. And then Sunday went to Ashley's place for cocktails, and then Harmony was there and Harmony's partner. But yeah, and that was a really lovely fun night with a lot of good cocktails. I think the first one we had was like in like a little blood bag, which was really cute. It was called a Red-Headed Slut, which is cranberry juice, peach schnapps, and Jägermeister. I never would have guessed there was Jägermeister in there, but it was really good, and I can't remember what the other ones we had were, but they were like a bunch of really nice cocktails, so that was nice. And then throughout that week, that was the week I caught a cold, so that sucked ass. That was really annoying. So at some point during that week I got sick, but I can't remember when. But then I know I went to the box on, I think, the Thursday, and that was very fun. Again, a lot of just mad performances. There was like a really cool one where like these guys came out. It was called like, the performance was called like Oppenheimer or something. I haven't seen the movie to know enough of like what the reference was there, but these guys came out and they're doing like sciencey stuff, and then they drink this potion, and then they start like dancing, like sort of like pop and lock, like break dancing type things. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So they're like dancers. And then they start like taking their clothes off, and I'm like, oh, okay, so they're also strippers. And then they start like popping their arms out of sockets and shit and doing this mad contortion shit. I'm like, okay, fuck, they're also contortionists. So like, it was just a series of insane events. And I think the last show that night was like some just insane Cat in the Hat skit or something. Also, Rosewood was there again. It's a strange place, but I love it. But yeah, so that was the Thursday. Friday I was hosting Darkroom, so I went to that. And then Saturday I think I ended up going for dinner in Canary Wharf. Like a really nice like little Italian place that ended up being lovely, and had a walk, went for some drinks. So that was all good, and I know I had to leave that Monday. I think that was over like when Thanksgiving was. So I invited a couple of people to come to the box on the Thursday, which I think was Thanksgiving, and so like just they couldn't make it because like they all had like either American family or friends like holding a Thanksgiving thing, so a bunch of people couldn't make it, which was a shame, but very, very fun indeed. Okay, this has not really gone exactly to plan, but I'm hoping I can make it be somewhat what I want. And then I was finally back home for a reasonable amount of time. I can't remember what date I got back from that trip. Haven't a clue, but then I was back home from then until a couple of days after Christmas, which was the longest I'd been away from London in quite a while, and it felt like an eternity and I got very bored. I didn't really have much of a Christmas this year, honestly. My mum was away on holiday, and so I pretty much just kind of like saw my dad for a little bit, had some food, and that was kind of it. So I was honestly just wanting Christmas to be over and done with so that life could resume and I could start having fun again. So then I went back to London on the 28th. I was meant to be going out on the 29th, but then my friend Kuro was meant to be coming out to that event with me, but he couldn't make it down to London that night, and I didn't feel like going to that alone because it was like a night I'd never been to before, so I'll have to get to that in the future eventually. I just didn't make it this time, unfortunately. But then the 30th was Slimelight's New Year thing, and that was very fun. Saw like loads of people there. Harmony came to that one, which was very fun, and I was there with Kuro, and Ollie came, just like lots of good people there. Very, very exciting. And then the next night was Monster Queen, which was like the Sunday, which was like actual New Year's, like the 31st. And that was like one of the most fun Monster Queens I've had. I don't really know why. It's just like, it was just good energy, good people. It was like nice because there was like a lot of people, but not so many people you couldn't move. It felt like the right amount of busy. And then like, I think the main thing was just like, there've been a lot of times at Monster Queen where I've had like a really great night, but because I've been having so much fun, the night has like flown by and it's felt like I've been there for like an hour and it's 5 AM and it's over. And then like, you know, if you have other nights out where you're like really bored, it feels like it's dragging on. This was like the best possible combination of the two, where I was like having so much fun. I was really enjoying chatting to everyone, running around, just like going all the different places, taking silly pictures. But the night was like dragging on, like in the best way. Like it would feel like an hour had passed and I checked my phone and like it had only been like half an hour and I was like, fuck yeah, we still have the whole night. This is great. So had so much fun at that one. Really, really enjoyed myself. Stayed until it closed and then headed back, and thankfully because it was New Year's, like all the tubes were running and everything, which made life a whole lot easier. Oh, when did I go? I think the trip before, so not the one after Christmas, but the one that was the Slimelight birthday trip. I think on the last Sunday before I went home, it must have been, we went to Boutique Bazaar, and that was very fun. It's like a sort of like fetish market, and I'd never been before, and I really enjoyed that, and I met a very, very fluffy dog, and I loved him. So yeah, I went to that the time before, and then this time, I'm trying to think, did I do anything the weekend after all the New Year's stuff? I don't think so. I think the Friday, me, Ashley, and Ollie all went for drinks together at the Black Heart. We had food first, and I went to the Black Heart, and that was nice. Saturday didn't do anything, and then Sunday went to Lamb, which is London Alternative Market, which is also a fetish event, but like felt more so like if Boutique Bazaar I feel like had a lot more like latex, harnesses, clothing, London Alternative Market had like a lot more like toys and equipment, I think, and it was also bigger. It was like 3 floors. We got there quite late, so I feel like I didn't get to peruse as much as I would have liked, but it was definitely interesting still, and I had a good time. And then I had to go home on the Monday, which was last Monday, and it's Monday again tomorrow, so tomorrow I'll have been home a week, and then on Wednesday I fly again. So it's fine, we're making it through. Right, what do we need? We need to start doing eyeliner and see how that changes this look, I think. So yeah, that is a very condensed like rundown of my last few London trips. It's been very good, very fun, but I am definitely running on fumes, but where's the good eyeliner? It's so much harder to get a nice clean line whenever your gel eyeliner is like kind of old and it's like wanting to dry out too fast and it's going clumpy, and you don't realize how bad it is until you finally replaced your dead clumpy gel eyeliner, and then suddenly like you use a new one and it goes on so slick and you're like, oh, that's how it's supposed to be. But yeah, so heading back to London in a couple of days, doing my best to cram in some stuff now. I've been quite productive today though. I usually end up like leaving all my packing stuff until like the very last minute and then it's a whole thing, but I was kind of running around today like starting to pack up some little bits. Did like, you know, some laundry and stuff, kind of trying to prepare, so that's good of me. I've even been charging my portable chargers and stuff, like I'm on a roll. And then I was like, do you know what, I'm gonna record today, get some of that done. So we're making efforts. So at the minute I have that scheduled, and then I also have, I think, quite a few things scheduled for the weekends either side of Valentine's Day. So I think like 9th, 10th, and then the other weekend is like the 17th. I have like quite a lot going on both of those in London, so there's a lot to do, but we're rolling. What did I pick up my phone to do? It was something relevant, I swear. But yeah, so February will be a couple of different things hopefully, but the ones that I'm like, they're like working at are Darkroom on the 10th and Slimelight on the 17th. So funny, like obviously I've only been back like a few days, and so I met up with my friend Fifi so we could have like a catch up, because we have like so much to catch up on, because I feel like in the very like short couple of weeks where we couldn't see each other, like a lot was going on in like both of our lives. So when we finally got to meet up, it was like, right, time to talk about everything. Oh my god. And of course, anytime me and Fifi get together, it just devolves into absolute madness. So we went to B&M to get her a phone charger, but ended up buying like a bunch of other stupid shit. I got a Hungry Snackosaurus plate. We both got some marshmallow cereal. It was great. Why am I fucking this up? It's because this eyeliner sucks, that's why I'm fucking this up, and talking isn't helping! And then we're like, let's take a drive to the beach, and we can sit in the car and look at the water, and you know, it was like dark by that time, but like look at the lights on the water, it'll be nice. Then we ended up like in this play park, and then we're like, we found like because I stopped by to get some stuff out of like a storage place, and we found a wig, because I'm slowly starting to try to get all of my stuff that's in storage in X amount of places into one place, and it's a whole thing. But yeah, we found a wig, so then we ended up putting the wig on and just being stupid in the play park, and I'm running into the sea even though it's fucking January. It was all just a bit chaotic, so that was really fun. And I love it. Like, we're in the car, we're like talking about stuff, and she's like, so you know, like, I'm mentally ill, right? And I'm like, yeah. And we just like burst out laughing, and oh god, there was like obviously so many conversations that are like private conversations that I'm not gonna spill the details on, but there was like this one particular conversation that had us like in the car park, doubled over, fucking like laughing, dying on the way back to the car, and people are looking at us like, what the hell's going on with those two? I always worry with things like that, because I'm like, people see me like that, I'm like, they're gonna think I'm fucking drunk, because that's how stupid we are when we're together. Like, I'm certain that I look like I am white girl wasted, but it's just us being like idiots. I'm like, they're gonna see me get in this fucking car and be really concerned. No alcohol here, guys, just a lot of silly goose gangling going on. Yeah, it was really fucking good and fun to catch up. Oh no. I can't, right, hold on, do you know, let me try just using the liquid for this a little bit, because that gel is too clumpy. It's really not the eyebrow shape I was going for. Oh, I hate it! Ah! Plan on recording some other videos tonight, but I don't think I'm gonna now, because I don't like it. The makeup itself, actually, I feel like I need to put on eyelashes and to see how I really feel about it, but it's actually turned out better than I thought, given that in the middle I like fucked it up and it didn't go the way I wanted it to. It's actually kind of cute. I will put on eyelashes in a moment and see, but I just fucked the eyebrows up there, and I cannot be bothered trying to wipe them off and fix the foundation and do it again. So I'm just kind of done. I want grey. I don't have a good grey. Anytime I've done a grey, it's been one I've had to like mix up myself. There. For some reason it's showing up looking much warmer on camera than it does in life. Right. I'm gonna get my eyelashes on, see if that hides some of it. I don't know. But something about it's just not vibing with me, but let's see. I want to stick on some giant eyelashes as if that's going to make it less drag, but I don't know, maybe it'll make it the right type of drag, we'll see. I was just rummaging through a bag downstairs to try to find some specific eyelashes, and I found this cute little Polaroid of me and Fifi. It was before Libertine closed. I miss it. But yeah, just found this and I was like, oh my god, this. Let's see if I like these eyelashes. I haven't tried these ones before. Where did I just set the other eyelash? Oh my god. I actually had to give up. Like, that eyelash, I didn't move from the seat and that eyelash just disappeared. It is gone. So I had to take a new one from the pack, and now there will forever be an uneven number of fucking eyelashes in that pack of eyelashes. And I'm real mad about it. So that's annoying. Oh, God. I was gonna do like bottom eyelashes and stuff as well, but I have like thoroughly lost patience with this whole endeavor. Great. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's my brain or my face, but it still looks too like subtle or normal or boring or something. It just doesn't hit the way I want it to. It's not doing it, so I need to try harder, I guess. But that is the completed look for today's Get Ready With Me. I hope you enjoyed this ramble and a little insight into my recent adventures. I wish I could tell you more about some of the scandalous things that I witnessed, but same like Torture Garden. I love to tell you all about Torture Garden, but I cannot. So it's so funny being in an environment like that for the first time because, like, you know, obviously people are like they're like out doing things in the open because like that's the point. But like it still feels like rude to look to me because I'm not used to being like around it and stuff. So I'm like walking past and people are doing their thing and I'm like, sorry. Like it's all very silly. There's just so many funny stories. Maybe that's something I could start doing on Patreon. If I'm doing like more of these kind of events where I am witnessing scandalous indecent acts, I could do like story times about that kind of thing on Patreon. Because like I said, the box is such a hoot and I would love to horrify people with the great detail of what goes on, but I feel like YouTube would get mad at me, so. So yeah, let me know if you want like more risque story times on Patreon and that is something I will consider. Yes, this is the final look. Thank you so much for joining me today. So, perfect time to mention that then. Yeah, check out my Patreon, the link is down in the description. You can join our Discord, have fun chats, post some selfies, make strange people on the internet very angry for some reason. It's a good time. Please leave a comment, let me know how you've been doing, let me know if you're going to any fun events this year, especially let me know if you're going to any fun events in London specifically, just because like I might be there or it might give me something fun to go to. But no matter where you are in the world, tell me if there's anything coming up. We've just got into 2024, I want to know if there's anything you're really looking forward to this year. Whether it's like an event, a party, a holiday, like anything that's happening, let me know, I want to hear. Thumbs up, subscribe, turn the notifications on, all the good stuff. And I will see you in the next video. Bye lovelies!